Greetings, peoples of the interwebs.
Yeah!
So I think for the first time ever,
Yeah!
we got to this trailer analysis pretty much right after it dropped.
Not before, but right after.
Like
We
right
just kind
after.
of happened to be hanging out,
Yeah,
When it
talking
happened.
about stuff,
super convenient.
gay
So,
stuff.
Civil War. First,
If you know us in our personal lives.
we're not talking about the Marvel Civil War. We're talking about like the Civil War back in the 1800s. We
But
just
like
now,
gay people in
South
the
got
Civil War.
robbed.
we just now learned about that in history. Pretty
Well, I
fascinating.
think it was
The
pretty
history
wrong.
class we take at the adult learning annex.
I think
Yes.
Here
I think
in
it was-
Canada.
I think it was pretty wrong of us to attack Pearl
Work
Harbor.
education is
in the 80s.
But seriously though,
All right, this
Um,
movie looks fucking awesome.
I can't
Yes.
imagine.
like I will say,
yeah. Everybody turned off there.
I do like that in this actually I guess it was a full trailer.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Felt
like
it.
yeah.
Two and a half
Lord-
minutes.
It's like a Lord of the Rings movie.
It was-
So long.
There weren't any like comedic elements in this trailer. Like all the other Marvel movies, there's always that like kind
This
of
is balls to the wall business.
And I
It's
like
game
it.
time, man.
Yeah.
like I'm sure there'll be the one-liners and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I like
This
that they're
is
keeping to the tone of Civil War
It's time
because I
for
was
battle.
This isn't a fun one. This
I guess
is
I guess a
Real one.
slight concern of mine was that like as they'd be like fighting each other, they'd be like punch punch punch, and it's kind of like little one-liner, and you're like ha 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 ha. Punch, punch, punch. It's like little one-liner, and you're like,
That's what Paul Rudd's there for.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
I don't want like the
And
one-liners to
Spider-Man.
downplay.
If
the,
Tony does it, it's cool with me though.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's what he does.
I think
Yeah,
it's better for the
that's-
whole
yeah,
tone of
that's
the
him.
movie if he doesn't do it at all.
Yeah,
Not-
but like I don't want it to be like Age of Ultron where everyone's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
That was my main
Quipping-
problem with it. Not
Yeah.
I
And
liked
it-
the movie, but it was everybody's Tony Stark
yeah,
now.
like the quipping kind of downplayed the
Yeah,
severity
just
of-
Ultron being funny at all was
yeah.
All right, so
stupid.
that scene was pretty badass where Cap, I think it was Bucky, were
Yeah.
just beating down on Iron Man.
Yeah, like trading off the
And, like,
shield. Oh
yeah.
my god! Oh,
And
and
he-
we get to see Black Panther
Yeah.
Finally, yeah.
finally. Like I know they're like the leaked photos, but like
And the
There's
officially
only s-
released ones.
Finally.
yeah, but there's only so much you get from like photos. But when you actually see not very brief glimpses,
Yeah.
but he looks awesome.
They could have thrown at the very end just a brief glimpse of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I think
They just save it.
I'm fine.
I'm
I kind of
preferring.
want them to
He's
save
got
it.
two costumes, so
Let
you
them
can-
save it.
Yeah, I
let-
prefer to see it in the.
or at least a mention of Spider-Man.
Yeah, shut up.
A little tease of Spider-Man, okay.
Okay,
But,
maybe
A
if
little
they'd shown like
touch
a
of Spidey.
A touch of Spidey.
if they show like a web sling and then that's it, just like
Yeah.
just the web. You don't
That's
even need to
fine,
see his
that would be
face.
perfect.
You don't need to see him at all. But yeah, it was
That would be
pretty great.
perfect. Or if somebody
Like
said if Tony said something about Spidey, or we've got
they just
we've got
you
a
know,
new one, or
There's
we
like
got a
a-
guy who crawls.
There's a huge amount of destruction, and then Spider-Man just shows up. It's like, I'm late.
and that's the only comedy one-liner in the whole thing.
I kind
But
of like the way like Black Widow's going in this one, where she kind of seems to be obviously.
I know they've
against-
already said she and Hawkeye are going to be
Yeah,
opposite
Yeah.
sides.
but I like that they're kind of making it more like she doesn't want to, but she just has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Well,
I
so I
that
like how
angle.
at least the
But
trailer is focused on, like, yeah, it's still a Captain America
Yeah.
movie more than it is. It's
Avengers.
just the
It's in
next
the title.
Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And
I figured it would just be like,
Yeah.
we can't call it Avengers so soon.
Yeah.
And,
I guess,
it still may be.
and to
but
be fair, in the
it
main
really is more of a
Civil
yeah,
War
yeah.
story, Captain America was
and it looks
The
to be,
front. At the
kind of
front.
your main point of view character,
yeah, and it looks like the same tone as Winter Soldier, more or less.
which is
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
because Winter Soldier is
It's what it
probably
should
the
be.
best Marvel movie in terms of like
Second
just
best.
as a
Guardians is better.
Guardians of the Galaxy
debatable.
is the best Marvel movie.
that's a whole other thing.
But
like I'm not saying
It's like not a superhero movie at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
like
Guardians is better.
even though Guardians,
Guardians
you could
is
say it wasn't a superhero movie
I don't-
either.
Yeah.
we can make
really
it
wasn't.
we can make a debate video
X-Men,
about that, but
Wolverine. But
you shut your whore mouth. But yes,
Green Lantern.
I do like that the
DC,
tone was
Tone-
very much Winter Soldier, which is
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
because
tone
Winter
was
Soldier
perfect.
was amazing. And I don't know, like I liked how when Cap was talking to Tony Stark, he was kind of like, hey, I hate to do this, but he's my friend, and then Tony almost looked very like hurt.
Yeah.
Was kind of like, well, so was I, and you're kind of like, he's actually like emotionally hurt from
You can do that to Tony
I
Stark.
know.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, what?
like emotionally hurt not by someone not his parents. Or I guess more so his father.
He's not Batman.
John Slattery really hurt that man.
He did.
After he got off his, he was always at Sterling Cooper, smoking his cigarettes and drinking and cheating,
he didn't-
cheating on Tony Stark's mother all the
Yeah,
time.
he didn't have enough time to watch
With
young
redheads.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Which, good on him for redheads. He's got good
Buxomy
taste.
redheads.
We gingers are a proud people with a fiery passion.
No souls.
We don't have souls, but for every freckle a ginger has is a soul they've taken from other people.
Okay.
I've heard
But
that.
back to Civil War, though.
Solid trailer from start to finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because I thought this was just a rumor, like, when people were kind of like, after Jimmy Kimmel, there's going to be a trailer. And I was like, I thought the official release was
That
going to be
man
during
gets
Star
stuff
Wars.
Done, apparently.
But,
Is it coming out in May?
yeah, May.
April,
soon.
May.
I know May for a fact.
Next year's gonna be awesome.
I know. I think we're gonna be so sick of it.
And then you see Falcon, who I guess is going to be Cap's right-hand man, aside from Bucky, because I feel like Bucky's going to be
think
kind
they're
of
gearing
on
up
the...
for him to take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Chris.
I mean, he's on
leaves.
steroids, so.
For Bucky to take over, I would hope.
He is. Yeah. If you learned anything from the night before, he is on steroids.
Yeah, but, Because I feel like Bucky's going to be more...
No, I haven't.
I think for the most, like, at the beginning of the film, Bucky's going to be more on the run. Cap's trying to, like, cover up his tracks, and Falcon's going to be like, alright, I don't entirely agree, but I got your
one
back.
of them is taking over.
Got your back, dog.
I would prefer Bucky taking
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Like, Falcon's fine, but I just think Bucky's...
against
Seems like
Falcon,
he is in
man.
the comics now.
I just
and
think Bucky's more
I think
compelling
our socially
as...
progressive times.
Shut
It's
up.
gonna be.
I think it's got to be Bucky.
It's got to be a black guy.
It'll be Falk.
I mean,
It'll
that's...
be Michael B. Jordan recast.
I'm
as
just-
Falcon, cast as
Please.
Captain America.
I'm just saying,
He's got Marvel
Bucky, I
experience.
think, is more compelling
True.
of a character as
Yeah.
Cap
Yeah,
than...
And if you ask me, it's actually more racist to make Falcon into Cap because then
Yeah.
you're like he's
He can't stand. He
He's
can't possibly stand
yeah,
on his own.
he's
He's a
an
black character,
he's
original
an,
black
he's
character.
an empowered ethnic superhero of his own right. No, let's make him Captain America. People don't care about him otherwise. That's
Yeah,
more racist.
and they were
I
featuring,
agree.
they were featuring Falcon a lot in this
Yeah.
trailer.
Thing is, Lady Thor and all that is sexist.
When are we gonna get She-Hulk?
The movie?
Any?
I think I don't know. Might have something to do with the rights, or maybe they're just. I don't know. I have no idea
cares?
really.
Call up Mark Ruffalo's wife. If
See what
he's
she- yeah,
married,
see what she's up to.
I don't know.
Or
I
care?
really don't know that much about Mark Ruffalo.
Does anyone really?
He's very passionate about fracking, apparently. That's all I know
He's got
about him.
he's got a
Environmental
strong ship
stuff.
with his lady, so.
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know. He just seems pretty little all the time.
But Civil War, though.
Not trying to
That-
defame Mark Ruffalo in any way.
Who's not in this
He's
movie?
not. He's not coming back till Ragnarok.
He's just waiting for Planet Hulk.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
pretty sure Ruffalo's not coming back till Ragnarok.
No, I don't think so. He might be a cameo. And actually, speaking of
Might
Hulk,
be mentioned.
No, he
might
flew
be a
off of
post-credit
Ross,
scene.
Thunderbolt Ross, is coming back
He's in
since the Incredible Hulk movie of
Yeah.
2008.
Oh.
So that one's canon.
maybe, well, yeah.
So Edward Norton is coming
Unfortunately.
back.
Yeah. People try to say it's not, or it is.
It's
It
the
is.
alternate personality of Mark Ruffalo living inside
honestly,
his
like,
head.
unless we get a Planet Hulk movie, that's the best standalone Hulk movie we're ever gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think we're just gonna.
And it wasn't
shoehorn him
it wasn't
into
horrible.
Waste of
It was
10 years.
it was fine. But
It exists.
You might.
but Ross looks like he's coming in, laying down the law, being like, "Yo, Cap, you're a vigilante. I don't
Fuck
like
you."
it." Yeah,
Think you're
Also,
Batman?
I'm taking experimental drugs, and I'm going to be Red Hulk.
yeah.
now.
But imagine Cap was more polite than Reverend Spaceman was kind of like, "I respectfully disagree, sir."
Darn you, sir.
Yeah,
Darn you.
because I don't swear, because I'm
Language.
Captain America. Yeah.
Pretty sure he said "damn" once or twice at some point.
Eh,
I don't.
you
He
know.
did so that Tony could be like, language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a great scene.
Yeah.
It was predictable.
Ultron was still pretty good.
Yeah. It was a good
I
movie. Just
thought it was basically just the first movie done better, but
Yeah.
I
I still
had
think I
issues
like
with
the
it.
first one better.
yeah, I think the first one
I
was
have to
better.
go back and
Yeah.
watch both of them.
I would
yeah.
too.
But I do think that this will be a good follow up to Winter Soldier. Not just because it's kind of got that same tone, judging from the trailer, but
As it should, really.
Yeah.
like Winter Soldier was so good, and that's a hard film to top. Not just for a Captain America movie, but just for
Guardians
any
did it.
future. They're about on par with
With Guardians being a little tired.
So
We could go more into depth in that, but just as a film,
you have to
Winter Soldier.
contextualize it
Was not as
to
good
say
as
one's
Guardians.
better than the other, but
Guardians is better.
I'm just saying, like, as a take it as a film, like it was a cool, like kind of grittier Marvel movie. It was like a spy espionage thriller, and Captain America just happened to be the lead actor. Guardians was like a great space opera, almost like Star Wars.
now where are Daredevil
exactly, it's
and
like
Jessica
Star Wars.
Jones gonna fit into Civil
See,
War?
that was one thing that I was wondering with Jessica Jones
could be
is
Daredevil.
they haven't tied
Some
She's
in.
way,
probably the
somehow.
easiest to tie into
Oh, yeah.
anything, really.
Almost-
Because you just make a case where, much like the comics, where she somehow, well, yeah, it wouldn't make sense in context of the movies, but in the comics, spoiler alert, she gets set up to find out the identity of Captain America.
yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you
But
could easily work her in working a case.
Yeah.
or-
Although I don't know, I feel like the Netflix shows.
And
So imagine-
Daredevil should just be in there because I want to see him again.
Yeah.
Because imagine
An
by the
excuse to get Daredevil in.
imagine by the time Luke Cage
Charlie Cox is out for
and
us.
Iron Fist come out, like
He's
Civil
also
War will be
contractually
over.
obligated.
So they might
Yeah.
in Civil War or in Luke Cage and Iron Fist they might mention the events of Civil War, but I don't think the show itself will deal with
I didn't
the
go back
Superhero
and look at
Registration
Jessica
Act or
Jones
anything like
yet,
that.
but yeah, I didn't catch any references
No.
to that. But
The one show I will watch during Civil War is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If it's anything like with...
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be interesting to see how they tie in.
it's the only
with-
time you want to watch it when a Cap movie comes out.
Yeah, because
That's
I
something.
mean, not watched any
Yeah.
of it. I have no idea. But
Like, the Ultron tie-in was neat, but it was just kind of like, oh yeah, Ultron happened just now, and
Yeah.
that's over with. Now we're back to doing our thing.
because there's no other movie to correspond with right now.
But I'm kind of curious how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will tie. Like, I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where they are going to track down metahumans, like the Inhumans in the show, because they're S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I
and
don't know if
that's.
it could connect as much as the second. It really probably, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
should have connected more with Winter Soldier
Yeah.
because that was all about Shield.
It connected pretty
Yeah.
intensely with Civil War. Or not with
Winter
Winter
Soldier?
Soldier,
Yeah. Yeah. That was,
that-
that was like
with
the
that-
latter half of season 1 and a lot of season 2.
Yeah.
Like, probably the beginning half of season 2.
Pretty much the entire premise has been shifted just by those events.
Yeah.
I would think it would have to be.
Yeah.
And it really improved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of bored with it until it tied in with Winter
what
Soldier, and then I
little
was
bit I've
all
seen.
on
Yes,
board.
with
Yeah,
so
wasn't
many
impressed.
episodes, you got a chance to
Yeah.
redeem yourself during
Yeah.
a season.
True.
But also, another scene that I noticed
People will
is
stick with it.
Iron Man looks like he's kind of holding War Machine. It looks like War Machine took a pretty big blow to like the chest. So I want to know who's.
Is he gonna die?
I don't know if he's gonna die, but someone was clearly
He's done for.
giving him a beating.
Don Cheadle done for?
So I kind of want to know what
He's
character.
done for.
Kind of want to know what character like was
He's cheated.
just really delivering some blows to War Machine.
I also wonder where's everybody else who we know is gonna be in the movie.
Well,
Where's Daredevil?
They
Where's
kind of
Daredevil?
they
You
kind of
need to
showed
know.
Daredevil in this trailer. I want at least Matt Murdock to show up as someone's lawyer
Or I'm
That would
not
be
going to see
great.
the
or
film.
Foggy. I mean,
Where's Luke?
Yeah, where is Luke?
he's off on the Flash. Imagine,
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll not Luke Cage. Hopefully you'll.
where's Luke Cage in all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be
It's
mentioned
with
at all.
Jessica.
But
I hope so. I hope those kids make it.
yeah,
Nah.
let's hope. But
Hope everyone dies.
like there was that brief scene where it
Breaking
showed
Yes.
Cap with Scarlet Witch, Falcon.
The new team. the
Yeah,
new
his
Avengers,
basically his team, and then
West Coast Avengers.
West Side Story where they just snap their fingers.
no.
Yeah, sharks.
Where's that?
Maria.
That's what I want
See
Civil War to
Tony
be.
Stark.
Tony Shark.
Yeah, ripping through that number.
Yeah.
That's the movie. I want.
That's-
Where's the
yeah.
Avengers musical? Is all I'm waiting for.
It's direct to DVD, probably.
Avengers on Ice.
Eventually. Eventually.
Avengers on Ice.
Yeah.
Civil War.
That's how I want Civil War to be.
Disney's Avengers on
Where like the
Ice.
big
They
the
do
big
it.
fight scene, they just snapping their fingers and it's a dance off.
Bro.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
singing the whole time and like really fake fighting
Yeah,
each
Star
other.
Lord like
Pete
beams
Quill.
down to Earth just to beat him in a dance
Yeah,
off.
where are the Guardians of the Galaxy in
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
That's how I want Civil War.
Where's
Gonna
Howard the
save
Duck?
the universe tonight.
Yeah, sharks, sharks. Hopefully you're getting these West Side Story references. If not, it's not that important. It's an old movie. That's all you
Cheers.
need to know.
It's a play.
Yeah. Well, it's a movie too.
It's a play.
Based off of
first.
play. Yeah, it was based off of play.
Classier movies because it's on the stage and actors like it more better.
Alright, I'm done.
Hashtag Thomas.
Yeah.
Speaking of, will Thomas make an appearance? Paul Rudd is.
It's possible he could have like little Thomas the
where is
Tank Engines.
Crossbones in this? 'Cause we know Frank Grillo is coming back.
Yeah, 'cause-
Probably going to kill Cap at the end of it.
Yeah.
No.
Spoiler for
Kill-
those of you who have not read the
kill
comics
or
or know anything about
severely
the
injure
comics.
Chris Evans
Yeah.
so he can come back in Infinity Wars Part 2.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, he might have like a little, he might have a little pouch of Thomas the Tank Engines. He throws them in like enlarged.
Growing
Yeah.
Thomases. He's actually teamed up with Ant-Man.
That actually would be really awesome if that was like Ant-Man's
He's
thing.
teamed up
He
with
just
Hank
throws-
Pym,
throws-
though, so
Ant-Man shining moment.
Yeah.
that's what Ant-Man Wasp will be about when they separate from Hank Pym because he portrayed Captain America in Civil War.
I mean, it's Mike Douglas. Come on.
I don't know, like
I assume the
there's-
original
Black
Wasp
Panther
was
had the best
Captain
Batman Beyond
Jones.
costume I've ever seen.
It did actually look a little bit like Batman
It
Beyond,
looks
didn't
exactly like Batman Beyond.
I
With
approve.
Frank Miller ears.
it? Yeah.
Therefore, it's
Which
your
I'm not a
favorite
Frank
character
Miller's
now.
all the rage these days.
I'm not opposed to Batman Beyond look because Batman
PK3.
Beyond was great.
PK3.
Why don't we just get a Batman Beyond movie?
That'd be
Why
awesome.
not
Levitt
have Frank
as
Miller
Terry
involved?
McGinnis.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood is Bruce Wayne.
Or Adam West.
Or Adam West.
Just
So I
old
think
people.
Clint Eastwood will give it the gravitas that
Yeah.
To get off his lawn.
Bruce Wayne, yeah. And to just be really racist towards Koreans.
Or just CGI
Yeah.
age up Ben Affleck, you know.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Ben Affleck needs to be Daredevil. Reprise his
Oh.
Daredevil role.
Stop it. Stop.
Shut your face.
Let's wrap this up on a good note.
According to one
Just
of our
edit it
coworkers-
out.
According
I
to-
don't know how to edit it out.
According to
producer.
one of according to one of our coworkers, Jake, Daredevil was a good try.
The movie?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
It was
The
a try.
director's cut, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
director's cut.
Was a good try.
Speaking of Thomas,
Yeah. The train just went by my house.
In Canada.
Yeah, in Canada. Which Civil War does not take place in Canada.
unfortunately,
I know.
It's like
we could have had cameos.
I know.
Well, then they'll be
United
Nations.
some nations of America.
What?
Okay, whatever.
That's where it takes place.
Yeah.
Deadpool is going to be in Canada though, and that's where we
Probably.
are
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
in Canada. Frankfurt.
Spaceman's making a cameo.
We
Yeah.
shot.
During that traffic scene.
I
That's
shot
right.
scenes. I don't know if they'll make it in the final cut.
I know mine are there. I'm wearing a helmet.
I know Ryan. I know Ryan personally, so
He's a good
Yeah,
guy. We
you-
worked
you guys
on
used to be, like, best
Nickelodeon
buddies.
we
together.
used to be
Yeah.
best friends forever.
Just
across the-
friends.
Even
Yeah,
Well,
You're the
I kind of
inspiration
broke
for
up
that
his
movie.
marriage.
yeah,
and, like,
they're more than friends.
it was a
but
whole thing, but I don't like to talk about it.
understandable. Those were
Alright.
some rough times.
Let's
We're
end-
trying
let's
to
end
pa-
on a positive.
We're trying
Yeah,
to work
that's-
things out.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Alright.
let's get back to Civil War.
Let's
and
talk
wrap this up on a
about
high note.
It's gonna be a 5 out of 5.
We need to get back on topic. Talk about the sweet embrace of death.
Jesus Christ. Going deep.
Nah, Civil War is going to be badass.
Yeah. Like
Everyone
that's
will die like the rest of us.
It'll be like Evangelion in that way.
okay.
But the one person who gets that is just like howling with laughter.
Spoiler alert, everyone dies in that thing that I mentioned.
But do we think Cap will actually like die in quotations, or is it going to be one of those things where, like in the comics, he's in like a how is it? He was like his mind was in another dimension or something like that, or
That's weird.
I don't know if it's
Stop
going to go
talking
that
about all
way
that.
with it.
they're probably not going to go
It's
that way.
deep,
But
man.
something.
I think it's very likely
He'll die,
a
he'll
Nick
come back.
Fury Winter Soldier thing where you think he's dead.
Yeah.
You see him on the table or
Probably.
whatever, and then they reveal later on it's like, no, he had to go into hiding or something.
Yeah.
Well, it does seem very likely with that when they're handing him their registration act or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would guess he probably does get shot or set up somehow, and maybe even, you know, the whole Crossbones shooting him thing was just a setup, and he had
Yeah.
to go in hiding. Would be my guess as of now.
And I wonder if
But I think he will get, air quotes, killed
Yeah.
at the end of the movie.
I wonder if like
Definitely.
I don't know, like I wonder if like this will impact as heavily. The other like Doctor Strange comes out in November, I think, next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much that'll
I
impact
think
Doctor
Strange would be a bit
Strange.
more standalone.
I would assume.
Yeah,
it would be.
hopefully.
That
But-
kind of seems to be the way that the
Though he
movies-
was mentioned in
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
Yeah,
That was his first mention. Though.
yeah,
That kind of seems to be the trend with Marvel
I
movies.
think he'll tie in later.
Every year you get the one like, Avengers heavily linked one, and then you get the one standalone.
yeah.
A little bit less this year. It was more you get the Avengers, then you get the kind of sort of linked, sort of standalone Ant-Man.
Yeah.
A little bit more standalone than.
But I still feel like with an event, not just like in the comics, but even like in the movie, something as big as like a Civil War, as miniature as it will be in the movie, due to many reasons. But they have to at least mention it in like Doctor Strange or some of the other
Yeah.
future Marvel movies, especially if Cap does
Oh, yeah.
die in quotation
I don't
marks.
see it being that big a part.
No,
well,
but
even
it's
Guardians
I
had
think it'll-
reference to the other ones.
I think the first Doctor Strange movie will be pretty standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as he enters into Avengers,
That's how I want it to be.
I think his next appearance will be more affected by it.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
he'll.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll really be even in the group
Just like
at all.
just like Daredevil.
Standalone?
Daredevil is more or less standalone, but the whole premise of it is kind of keyed off by the
The
Alien
event, yeah,
Yeah.
from the first Avengers movie.
There's also spoiler alert mentioned in Jessica Jones
Yeah.
what?
as the event.
You mean Jessica Jones also references the thing in the same way Daredevil does?
Pretty much, not
Yeah.
the exact same way, but
I don't
I
think
think
I'll,
she actually mentions it rather than
Yeah.
like a realtor.
think I'll be able to enjoy the show now that I know that crucial detail.
Sorry,
What are the other Marvel movies coming out after Doctor Strange?
All of them?
Panther,
Yeah, there's Black Panther.
Ant-Man,
Guardians 2.
Wasp. Yeah, Guardians.
Well, Guardians
2.
isn't going to be affected by like Civil War. I'm talking about like
I don't know, it might be.
'cause I think Black
Wasp, I kind of doubt it, but possibly
Civil. No, I don't think it's going to be affected by Civil War at all.
something that could. It's a stretch, but I think
Maybe Iron Man flies up into space at the end.
Well,
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Did-
I mean,
isn't that why one of the
Star-Lord
reasons
and
why he
Iron
joined
Man
up with
together.
the Guardians?
No, he
in the
just
comics?
joined up because like he.
I don't think that was even like remotely
Okay.
the same
Yeah,
time.
it was,
Time
no, it
period.
was fairly recent that he flew up into space.
Okay.
He just like was dealing with these like scientist extremists that were like blah blah, your knowledge something, and then Tony Stark somehow had the epitome that's like, you know what, I go to space all the time and it's no big deal for me. I'm just gonna go to space now and
Okay.
make it a big deal.
Because I wasn't 100% sure. Because I just remember when I picked up the first volume, like he was with the Guardians, and I guess I just assumed that like this was shortly after Civil War, and he's kind of like, I can't deal with the guilt. I'm going to space.
That'd be a good way to do it.
I mean, he
could
did
give him,
like.
you could give him his cool space version of his Iron Man suit.
Now, do we think Tony's going to be the head of the Resurrected Shield, or because he does become the director of Shield?
Yeah, after.
Illuminati.
I would say
Or
so.
is he getting? Yeah, are they?
I would think so.
Or is Shield going to be more of an underground thing? But he's the new director of Shield, or
Yeah, I think
No,
he'll
that-
probably be the
he'll-
director
he'll
of
or is he?
Shield.
Shield.
Or is he just going to be like appointed some sort of governmental status, some sort of authority?
If not
figure?
He'll
like
be the leader.
President.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he runs Shield into the ground. And,
Yeah. But I'd say it'll be a lot like in the comics in that way, where Cap goes underground with his group along with Nick Fury. Although I
Oh
don't,
yeah, and
I don't think.
Iron Man's on the
Yeah.
approved side.
Yeah. And I almost feel like they're gonna have to mention like some of the other characters like coming into the like the Marvel movies, like how they're
I
searching for
want
like
a reference to Daredevil.
Yeah.
There's
Yes,
that guy in
something.
Hell's Kitchen, or like one of the ones that we know about. There's that
yeah,
guy
like
in Hell's
basically
Kitchen.
like not Captain America, but
That's
or
probably
actually
where,
it could
probably where Spider-Man comes into.
could
it.
work either way. Where like
Or-
either each side is kind of like, okay, who else can we recruit for our side? It's like, well, there's the guy in Hell's Kitchen. There's
It's like, but
the
I
guy
don't, I
that,
don't
like-
think he's gonna. I don't think he plays well with others or
yeah, like
something.
I would like just little references like that. Or it's like, well, what about the guy with the
Jessica Jones
magic
seems kinda harder
powers?
to, yeah. What about Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
What about Stephen Strange? And they'll say he's off in something.
Yeah. So I think that would be a great
What
way
about
to
Chris
just.
Pratt?
I hear he's doing dance-offs.
I
with
hear he's doing
Ronan
another
Keating.
Space
movie.
right now?
Yeah.
He's filming
I
Jurassic
could
Planet.
see them maybe sort of mentioning the Nova Corps or something. Maybe, probably not, but maybe. Yeah, I highly doubt it, but maybe.
It's
I
gonna
don't see
become
that.
a movie full of references.
I want a reference to Daredevil.
Want to
Oh
reference
no, wait, that
every
was a lot of
character.
Age of Ultron where it's kind of like
Yeah.
Easter eggs for so
The
many
future.
other.
Yeah. I kind of wish they'd set up Ragnarok a little more.
Yeah,
I don't care anything about this movie except that it references Daredevil.
Yes, and if it doesn't,
Of all the references, I
it gets a
want-
0 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
Of
It
all
gets
the
a
ref-
0 with arms wide open.
Of all the
Yeah.
references I wanted to make, I think Daredevil's probably the one we want the most.
yeah, that'd be great.
And it would be so
I've
easy.
been waiting
Yeah.
Yeah,
for 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, since they're going after vigilantes, you know.
He's the perfect one.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Coulson, bring Coulson back into the movies. People know he's
It's on
alive.
the show.
don't-
You don't need to reference Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s particular events. You just bring
No.
him back. People know he's alive. Come on.
I think that just brings in a whole
Shut up.
can of worms that they don't have time to deal with in the movie.
Yes, they
'Cause
do.
it's kind of like that was a huge thing for them is forming the Avengers, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we've been lied to, but S.H.I.E.L.'s already
It-
kind of collapsed.
it would be cool to, if not bring him in the movie, like at least reference him. But at the same time,
Depends on who,
Yeah.
I guess, and who he's talking to. but-
if it's handled right, it could work. But I don't want him to just like shoehorn it and be like, oh, what about Phil Coulson? What's he doing?
yeah, if it's just, again, it would just open up a whole can of
Yeah.
worms that they don't really have time for.
I think Phil should just show up in Civil War and be like,
I've been here the whole time.
yeah, he'd be like, everyone else is in this movie.
Yeah, obviously,
Say
I didn't die. You guys are stupid.
break the fourth wall. Say, yeah, everyone else is in this movie. Of course I'm here. That's it.
Or just be like, why don't you guys ever answer my text messages? It's like, do you
You're
know,
still alive?
Never
do
got
you know how many times we've had to like save the world from other stuff
Come
because
on,
you
Cap.
guys never answer my text
I
messages?
got a new number.
I called the Avengers hotline.
I
like
poked you on
1,000
Facebook too.
times.
Come on, guys.
You never signed my cards, Cap. They got my blood on
I
them.
follow you on Instagram, Tony.
Yeah.
1-800
Your social media game is crazy, by the way. I mean, not as crazy as Falcons, but
No. Big star.
But yeah, that trailer was great, and I'm super pumped for this movie.
Yeah, that's right. We watched the
Sweet.
trailer.
Only
Yeah,
about
we did.
a little under 6 months
that's,
now.
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
But
Everything's
I'm
coming
excited.
closer and closer.
I'm
About
excited
these
for it.
trailers coming out so early.
Yeah.
It's all part of the anticipation. But
I'm so sick of everything being so good.
quit being a negative Nancy.
I mean, I just say like we're spoiled now.
we are.
I guess
Yeah.
that's why like
Star Wars every year, like 2-3 Marvel movies every year.
Next year's going to
And
be
then
crazy
DC
just for the
movies.
Couple of DC
superheroes.
movies that
Yeah.
might be good.
Let's hope so. I wanted to bring their A game.
Fingers crossed.
I hope DC
So-
movies. DC's gonna have some bad movies, and I'm kind of glad they will because we're just so. There's
We need,
so many.
we need something to laugh at.
We need something bad. We need
Green
something.
Lantern 2.
We need something to
Please.
just.
The Reckoning.
Please.
We need something to lower our expectations
Please
a little
no.
bit. Like Bible Man, the movie. Come on, Kirk
What are you talking
Cameron.
about? It's going to be
It would
masterpiece.
higher my expectations, especially if you get Willie Ames back together with Bob Loblaw.
Well, I think for a reboot, Kirk Cameron could do it.
I mean,
I
we should
mean-
get like a young unknown.
He can do anything.
I'm
Like a
just
Michael B. Jordan type. Well, Michael B. Jordan has coats.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
But as spoiled as we are, let's just be glad that we are getting all these amazing,
No, yeah, we're
potentially amazing movies.
we're in an age of indulgence.
Yes.
Yes,
for
this
sure.
is the glory years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Avengers: Age of Indulgence.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it's happening when it's happening.
If they
Yeah.
would indulge me to a Daredevil reference, I'd be very happy.
So Dave and Jordan really want
Yes.
Daredevil. As
We're-
do I.
We are
I
team
think we
double
all do.
D. We are double D's all the
Yeah.
way.
Put my D's down.
But
Square.
any closing statements, gentlemen, before we wrap this up?
Daredevil.
Aside from Daredevil.
Okay,
I'll
no,
take
no,
Foggy. I mean,
Nothing.
I'll take Foggy too, or just Foggy.
Marvel, can you do me a favor and fuck up once?
Why would you
That's a
want
compliment.
that?
I think they already tried that like earlier in the 2000s.
Just well, yeah, just once. Just give us one where we can say, okay, get you know, you gotta be mad, you gotta be sad sometimes to appreciate the good. Because if everything is just great all the time, it gets a little bit boring. That's why utopian societies are impossible. So give us something a
And
little
like
bad.
human nature. But
I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna disagree. I want all their movies to be like,
10 out of 10.
yeah,
Well, I mean, give us a bad movie. Make it Squirrel Girl. Make a Squirrel Girl movie.
No.
Make it terrible.
no.
Use no money for it.
Again,
Release
I
it,
think
like-
people that don't read comics and stuff and don't know the difference between DC and Marvel and are just like they're all the same superhero movies,
Yeah.
they'll get that out of their system with DC. Because, like you said, especially with their overly ambitious slate of movies over the next 5 years.
But I'm not one of those people.
Like
and
half
fuck
of those
those
are gonna
people. I'm
suck.
talking about me. Give me a bad Marvel movie, just to make all the ones that are. Give us all the great ones. Just make them that much greater by comparison. You know.
We are Pasty Pale Productions, so obviously
That's-
our input is paramount.
We hold a lot of sway.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
It's just one bad movie to make all the other ones look even that much better by comparison.
Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah. What'd you think of the
About
trailer?
Twitter, Facebook,
about our opinions.
Amino.
Comment, leave us a comment on the
yeah.
thing.
I want like detail by detail
Like,
where you
give
think
us
Spider-Man
your
is.
give us your thesis statement of what what you think.
Yeah, I want
like,
a 5-page paragraph.
50.
That is a long
page-
paragraph, Jake.
Yeah, that's
Needs time to
that's-
breathe.
It's a lot of
No.
too many run-on sentences.
Yeah,
for me,
I'm
but
cool with that. I'm
want
not
a
going to be super...
50-page,
We
well-written,
need a thesis and argument.
like thesis
And you
about
think I'm ridiculous? for
Nice
that.
how
conclusion.
Daredevil can work into this movie.
We want point by
And, like,
point
be-
debates.
And
And a very important part of
PowerPoint
the
presentations would be
for,
great.
and for your grade, you'll either get a like or we just won't say anything.
Yeah.
plot. Yeah.
But you can like our videos, like our Facebook page, Pasty Pale Productions, follow us on Twitter, Pasty Pale Pro, and just leave comments below, share, like, and all that jazz.
Comments
I'm Reverend
everywhere,
Spaceman,
Yeah,
jazz
comments.
everywhere.
I'm Reverend Spaceman, and I'm on Comics Amino.
He will
You
probably offend you.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's
Most
also
likely.
on
If you're into
Anime,
risque
you know?
things,
yeah. I'm well. My biggest thing on Anime Amino was deleted, but ask me about it.
That should
I'll-
tell you a lot.
Yeah.
and Jedi Amino.
Yeah.
Come find us on these things.
Yeah, find me on
I-
find me on Anime Amino, and I'll tell you what the thing was that got deleted.
I'm also on Comics Amino, Irishman Jake, all one word. Feel free to follow me, and until next time, everyone, cheers.